Good morning. My name is Chamun Dabeng and you're welcome to Business Daily. Let's talk numbers. All right, we're going to start off with the stock market as of 6 a.m. today. You're welcome back. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. The SME sector is the backbone of major developed economies as well as important contributors to employment, economic and export growth. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, SMEs contribute 48% of the national GDP. They account for 96% of businesses and 84% of employment nationwide. With about 17.4 million SMEs in existence, they account for about 50% of industrial jobs and nearly 90% of the manufacturing sector in terms of number of enterprises. Despite its contributions to the Nigerian economy, SMEs continue to suffer setbacks, which has hindered the growth and development of the sector to the point that only 1 out of 25 businesses that started together in Nigeria survive after 10 years, while about 80% fail within the first 5 years. Now, there are a number of factors contributing to this alarming figure, and we're going to be finding out why. Joining me as we embark on a quest to find out why SMEs in Nigeria continue to suffer setbacks is Agaba Wilson Agaba, and he is a business education consultant and a public affairs analyst. He's the managing director and chief executive officer of Dream Height Global Consult. All right, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sharon.
All right, so Nigerian SMEs account for 96% of the total number of businesses in the country and contribute about 50% of the national GDP in terms of ownership structure. 73% of MSMEs are sole proprietorships, while 14% are private limited liability companies. All right, so let me come to you. You are basically a part of the SME sector yourself.
Of course.
What has it been like, that entire process? What's it been like for you?
It's been a lot revealing to get into the SME sector and begin to see what goes on in that sector. There are a lot of things to be talked about, and I think we'll do our best to talk on as many things as we can on the show as time will permit us. But I believe subsequently we'll still come back here to talk about a lot of things. The SME sector offers the individual a lot of opportunity for self-development, to make contribution to the economy and to do all of that. But then it also has its own challenges. Some of these challenges come from factors bordering on the individuals involved, factors bordering on the system. By the system, I mean the government and how it is run, and some of them bordering on other natural and other natural factors and the rest of them. So there are challenges, there are good things happening there, and a lot of people are making progress in spite of the challenges. There are a lot that can be done. So the SME sector is an interesting aspect.
When we say a lot of it, I mean, based on the figures that we have here, it says only 1 out of 25 businesses that started together in Nigeria survive after 10 years, while about 80% fail within the first 5 years. Now, this is really, I don't know what to put it as or describe it as really bad. But for me, when I look at these figures, they do seem a bit scary. I mean, 1 out of 25.
Yes.
That's a very low number.
That's 4 out of every 100. It's about 4%. It is not very strange to see a large number of SME fail in any country, right?
True.
But then the percentage in Nigeria is quite abysmal, and here are some of the reasons. One, let's start from the individual who goes into a business. The individual have little or no information about the business they want to do. Maybe they just have some money and they say, okay, let's set up this and start. Now they have no experience in what they want to do, and this experience matters. And they don't take on consultants who would be able to take them by the hand and take them through.
But you see, now I like to bring it down to the average man. Like, how many people can actually afford to bring in a consultant and say, you know what, I'm hiring you to take care of this or that? Because as it is, cost of capital is a big problem for many people. So when you're on a shoestring budget, how do you now bring in professionals that are supposed to teach you certain things about your business?
You see, fortunately enough, it is not very difficult to take on a consultant, as people think. It is not every consultant that is charging this multinationals level of... there are people who will give you some little cues that will prepare you for the job ahead. And then in your financial too, when you are preparing for your human resource, you should prepare for your consultant. It is very important, because not taking them on is even more costly than taking them on. Because in the end, you lose your capital, you lose the business, you lose everything you have invested in this business. But if you have somebody to take you by the hand, it's usually better. I tell people, why is it that it's important for you to get an experienced person to. When we say consultant, it doesn't have to be someone like me who say, "Oh, I'm a business."
It could actually be somebody who has been in that field that is willing to,
if you have been
give you some
presenting on
information.
TV,
Yeah.
somebody wants to set up a TV station. That person can call you and say, "Chairman, now you have been presenting for a long time. I want you to come, guide me on what I should expect in presentation, what I should put in place, what makes a good presentation, what makes a bad presentation, what makes people watch your program, what makes people follow you." You know, these are not rocket science, but because you have passed through it, just like the woman who sells okra in the market. You want to go and start selling okra. The woman say, "Come and pay me 10,000 naira. Let me show you the business of okra." And you say, "Is it not to just buy and sell?" And then, but at the end of the day, you don't know how the woman treated the okra that was not sold in a particular market. When it was getting bad, how did she salvage it to make some money from it? These are nitty-gritties that are not there in the open. You can only know them based on experience. So it's important in that direction that you get somebody who will give you all the information that you need to know about the business you want to do, and then also take you by the hand. And to help you through difficult situations, because no matter how experienced you are in entrepreneurship, their life is very difficult because there's a new challenge every day.
For the first six months to 1 year is mostly trial and error. Oh, you've bumped this wall. How do I move past this wall? So a lot of people don't really think that, okay, maybe sometimes it's just as simple as you getting a mentor, someone that will guide you. So there is a survey carried out by Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, that's GEM, and it showed that Nigeria leads the world in the proportion of the population who believe they have the skills to run a business, with almost 90% of Nigerian adults believing that they have the ability to become entrepreneurs. Now, taking a look at this figure and putting into consideration the instability of the Nigerian economy, is this the best time to actually venture into entrepreneurship? Because right now we're looking at a whole lot of factors, and the truth is there are a lot of odds that are stacked up against the new entrepreneur. Like, the person is facing insecurity, we have issues with electricity, transportation, there is so much. Is this the right time for you to venture into entrepreneurship?
First of all, entrepreneurship is about creativity, it's about innovation, and it's about resilience. It's about seeing what others don't see. It's about seeing solution or opportunity where people see problem. So for instance, when you say we have a problem of power, if you are able to come up with a good way of solving the power problem, you are in business, and that's entrepreneurship. If you are able to find a solution to transportation or logistic problem, that's a business. So you go into logistic and you solve logistic problems for others. So entrepreneurship is not about sailing when the wind is smooth. It's not about doing things when you don't have challenges. Entrepreneurship is about creating solution through a tough situation.
Kind of like when the COVID-19 pandemic started, some people came up, but that was when logistics actually boosted up, where people would have things delivered to people's doors. You don't have to go out. And it almost seems like that flow has continued up until now, because it's actually more convenient than you saying, "Oh, I want to go to the market," when I know I can just use my application and order groceries.
And then you see that organization also started the work from home concept, which is now catching on. Even after the COVID, it's not going to go away. Educational institution moved online, started having online lectures, online assessments, and all of that. All right. So as an entrepreneur, challenges will always be there ahead of you. But then it is up to you to come up with creative and innovative way of overcoming these challenges. So there's no good and bad time to venture into entrepreneurship in any economy or country. That's my take.
Yeah. All right, so that's the thing. This is why we have discussions like this, is because people do need to understand that it takes a lot more than you just having an idea. There's a process, there's a flow that you have to go through. But even at speaking of understanding that there is, something that you can actually do about it, it still comes back to education.
Exactly.
There are certain things that are not being taught in Nigerian schools today. And that's the mindset that many young Nigerians pick themselves up and go out with. They consistently feel that because Sandra and Joan started this business, business and they made 1 million within the first month,
Yeah.
they automatically feel that, oh, is it not just buying and selling? So let me get up and do exactly the same thing. But we have about just a few minutes before we go. So I want to know some of the challenges that you have actually faced in the SME sector itself and how you were actually able to come out of it.
Now, one of the things that you would notice in the SME sector is that you have people who have an idea and they go to market with it. I have done that before and it has cost me. What I mean by an idea is, oh, I noticed that, some people are busy and they cannot go and buy their groceries, so let me offer to buy them groceries at a margin. And then I have not done anything about it. The only thing I know is that, okay, maybe I need a car. Maybe I need to start talking to people. I buy a car, start talking to people, and then I go to buy grocery for them. And then I do that for many people. Then at the end of the day, I saw that the wear and tear of my car is not captured in my costing. The fuel is not captured in my costing. The fact that I will buy things that are that I don't have a return policy on, and the client may not like it, is not put into consideration. And all of these things are there. I jump into it. I find out then I am not prepared for the unforeseen circumstances. When it hits me, business is over. Another thing is under budgeting. There is a minimum required amount that you must put in a particular business for it to stand on its feet. You have something barely enough, you jump into it. Very soon, you are cash strapped.
There's always the belief that within the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, you make enough money to cover up those costs.
Exactly. If you say, I'm going to sell 50 units in the first 1 week, what if you sell 0 unit? A lot of people don't have this backup thinking, and then they go into it. And then there is also the government factor, where you start a small business and everybody is knocking on your door for different tax and levies and fees and all of that. You know, one of my clients opened his door, and then the next thing you know, we have, for instance, in Abuja here, you have the FCDA, you have the AMAC, you have the AEDC,
and the problem with that is that it's
AEPB, and the rest of them. All of them barrage you with a lot of taxes and levies and fees. And then it becomes too much for the SME to take off.
Yeah.
And then they break down. So these are all issues.
This is why some people are actually opting to move towards home, having their offices in their own homes and working from the comfort of their own homes, because they are taking away that levy. But you see, the problem now is that it works against the government, because these are, there are taxes that you could have gotten that would have helped out the economy itself.
Yes.
But then now you're missing out on that because you have overtaxed the small businesses.
In fact, not only does it rob the government of taxes, it also places a limit on the growth capacity of that particular enterprise. Because, of course, our mentality here in Nigeria, once you don't have an office, they say the business is fraudulent. So you are not going to have a lot of customers because you are working from your house. Say, it's one residential address. That person is not a business person, So because of that, a lot of people want to have an official address in an office, a business area and all of that. So it puts a growth limitation on that SME. And then one problem I have noticed about our government,
so it's more like you're dealing with the devil and the deep blue sea. That's the situation.
So, but for a lot of SME owners in Nigeria, they just want to survive. So once the home is helping them to survive, that's okay.
All right, so we actually don't have enough time, and we do have to wrap up right now. It was an interesting discussion. Hopefully we'll find another time to finish it up. But I would like to thank my guests in the studio. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to be a part of the show. And to all of our viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget to follow us on our social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments on our discussion. My name is Chamunda Beng. Come back tomorrow for more Business Daily. Let's talk numbers.